Welcome to Odad Odad Odepp video. Here we're here with a special guest DEGA here. We're talking about the recent race weekend today in the NRA. That I didn't like what I saw that weekend. We saw pretty unpopular winners, I'd say, except for the national exhibition race. So yeah, I know DEGA's kind of like an expert at ranting, so let's hear it.
And I'm glad that you say that I'm an expert at ranting, because that's basically my part-time job at this point, just to rant and rave about everything that goes on in the league, positive or good or bad, really. But I mean, today was this weekend was honestly, if I had the guts to say, which I do, this race weekend was the absolute worst. It was a really awful race weekend. Let's start in the beginning. D3, Talladega, very laggy, very messy race, and well, we saw um, Kaz in the number 77 just the win, and I mean, at face value, that's great because another organization has won another race. That's what we want to see. What we don't want to see is dirty wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah. When a driver wins a race through means of unsportsmanlike conduct, unsportsmanlike driving. You know what I mean? And we saw that he was basically like all the way down to the infield, like cutting across the track logo, across the spot, the race logo, and it was like, oh, um, me personally, I was pretty upset, because both of us, we understand, we were both hosting that race, and it was, I was, listen, you know, the public really doesn't, but you and both of us know how frustrated I was having to deal with all those penalties, how to make them, appeal them, decline or accept. And as
Yeah.
much as I have a commitment to make sure that this league is a functioning league, because basically everybody else either slacks off at their job or has no idea what to do. And I'm just helping to right the ship in the right direction. With in our current staff team, what I'm saying is we're understaffed, really, and it's becoming a lot of a problem now that this league gets more competitive, more chaotic, and bigger. And naturally, when anything grows in number, you need more maintenance, right? I mean, for example, a bit of a stretch here, a bit of a big stretch here, but would the Titanic be able to like avoid the iceberg if it just had the captain? I mean, they had a whole crew and it didn't, but still, you get my point, right? What is the captain gonna do? Steer the ship, control the telegraphs, go down to the boiler room, shut the dampers, stoke the fire, like get rid of the fires and everything, and like pray that the engine room has enough boiler pressure and enough steam pressure to make sure it's the engines go the other way. I mean, you know what I mean. It's so difficult when you have one person doing everything, having to post a race, do the penalties, watch for bad driving, and we both choose to make our life difficult by now having to run these news outlets that are kind of fun. But back to the whole D3 thing, I hated doing that, and it pains me even more when I have to penalize drivers, period. Because I don't want to do that. Me personally, I don't want to be the bad guy here. I don't want to be seen as the guy that has been pulling down this league because it's strict, because it doesn't have leniency to ideas such as Robin's racing or whatever. I don't like it. Oh no, what is he doing here? Anyway, um, and I don't want to be seen as the bad guy. It's kind of a dilemma. Oh my god. I can't concentrate when this penguin is there dancing like that. Okay, he's gone, and I can't. Co- I can't. It's. I don't like it. I don't want to be seen in a bad image. But if I have to, then I will use the powers that have been given to me in this league to make sure that we are not going in a embarrassing direction, right? Huh. And then D2 happened. Trick
Yeah.
question, it didn't. It didn't happen, really. After, just to fill you guys in, we went to Nashville instead. That seemed to be a good idea on paper, but I'll tell you why it wasn't later on. But D2 did not happen. I was away, actually. We were, I was having a after school commitment that I had to attend to. Everybody else in the inner circles knows. I'm not gonna say it here, but you know, it involves an instrument of sorts. You know what I mean? And
Band kid.
yeah, and we were doing our shows and whatever. And when I came home, well, the time I was expected to come home, the race time had already been 2 hours past, and I was not gonna let you or B Dog have to host a mess of a super speedway race because I could see it coming. If we host a super speedway race, you need a lot more than one person doing everything. You need at least three. Two is not enough. You are not going to survive with two. And, I mean, I wasn't there for the exhibition race, but I heard that it went pretty well. Rover managed to win, and of course, the Daily Driver Network made a huge story on their news page, their news feed, about how Rover's only capable of winning exhibition races, which I find pretty funny because it's kind of true. He won the Clash last season, and he won this race in D2. Both of them non-points paying, so it didn't really contribute too much, but he won them in pretty much dominating fashion, as far as I was told. The Clash, I was there for that. I had to run second fiddle to him the entire race, and it was the most boring thing I've had to deal with. It's so bad. And then we move on to D1, which was, just at the time of recording this, I think, an hour ago? I'm sorry, but Iron winning, first of all, came out of left field. I was not expecting that. Second of all, there's controversy, as far as I'm aware. There's an image floating around in the server of the 24 being below the track. He's in the grass. Basically in the grass. Oda, you in the number 20, your Canadian Tucker, which I helped make. You were up there, but nobody, even you won't admit how you managed to get up there. So we're gonna leave it at that. But it's so controversial because I saw the 24. He's below the track, and I was like, is this legal? Is this allowed? Like, what are the hosts gonna say? And ultimately, it's up to Dylan on what he interprets the rule book. But if he wants to interpret it that way, then he can, and we can let Iron win. Or if he wants to interpret another way and give the win to Oda, then that is also a possibility. But whatever it is going to cause a backlash, regardless of what happens, because you already know that Iron has ruffled a lot of feathers in this league, and a lot of people are not really too keen on him winning, let alone KJS getting a win, because they aren't really the talk of the town unless it comes to having a bad reputation. And we've seen this last season when KJS basically hired anybody and everybody, and they all turned out to be pretty mediocre drivers that couldn't really perform. That were also frustrating the entire field, including team owners, as far as I'm aware. I guarantee that King Electronics got frustrated at his own teammates for not showing up to races and whatnot, not showing up to races or not being able to actually properly compete in what should be championship level equipment. Really, like they are one of the Chevrolet representatives in this league, and when you think of Chevrolet, you think of like winning excuse me, every race, going the distance every time. And KJS, it's not really working out too well for them right now. But I'm not gonna digress on that. Um, and honestly, I really do think that this race weekend was not it. The lag, the switch, and about Nashville, the switch. Um, I felt that it was rushed. I truly believe that if there had been more time to, properly set up the track, properly get iron out any fixes or whatever, any bugs that may occur, would have produced much better racing than what we've seen today. And I've been a victim of having the blowovers be at such a high level, and it was on the four to go, and you were the one that caused it. Actually, you came down. No, you washed up the track, hit me. I hit the wall with tremendous force, and I went spinning around, and my car was basically sideways, and that should have been the end of the story. But because of how high the draft was, no, the blowover value was, I basically went up and over, and that's why I finished in last. But I won't complain because I understand that we had like the Talladega proposed race at the super speedway would have been awful, and I was kind of hinting that if we do race at Talladega in D1, somebody is going to get really upset. And I mean, if D3 was anything, of course, that should be seen as a warning as to what we should do in this league. And I'm not happy about it. We didn't really have the speed. Well, we did have the speed. We just didn't have, luck or anything on our side. And I mean, I don't know. I really don't think it was a good race for me.
Mm.
Great race for KJS, great race for Iron, but I don't think it was a great race for anybody else. But I mean, that's my take really. Bad race, bad weekend. Hopefully next weekend is better. I pray.
All right, that is it for okay, my Roblox just broke. Anyways, that is it for the weekend reviews. Hopefully we can do this every single week. Today our special guest was DEGA. Thank you all for watching. Thank the crocodile for being here. Yeah, that's about it. Bye.